tuna mahitaji makubwa ya nishati ili kuendeleza sekta hizi muhimu katika jiji letu la Arusha. Mahitaji haya yanahusisha sehemu mbalimbali ikiwepo hoteli, viwanda, maduka, vivutio vya kitalii, majumbani, biashara na kadhalika. Lakini bila usimamizi mzuri na matumizi bora ya nishati, tunaweza kupoteza fursa hii muhimu na kuleta madhara kwa uchumi wetu na mazingira yetu. Hivyo basi, kongamano hili linatufundisha kwamba matumizi bora ya nishati ni muhimu sio tu kwa maendeleo yetu ya kiuchumi, bali pia kwa ulinzi wa mazingira na ustawi wa jamii yetu. Hapa Arusha tunayo fursa ya kutangaza na kutumia vyanzo vya nishati mbadala kama vile jua, upepo, joto ardhi na nishati mimea ili kupunguza utegemezi wetu kwa nishati ya mafuta na kupunguza uzalishaji wa gesi chafuzi. Hata hivyo, jiji la Arusha lina vyuo mbalimbali ambavyo vimekuwa mstari wa mbele kwa kutoa wataalamu katika sekta ya nishati kama vile Chuo cha Ufundi Arusha, Chuo Kikuu cha Nelson Mandela na vyuo vya ufundi vidogo na vya kati kama vile VETA. Kwa ridhaa yako, ndugu mgeni rasmi, Mheshimiwa Doto Mashaka Biteko, Naibu Waziri Mkuu na Waziri wa Nishati, ningependa kuchukua nafasi hii kukuomba kama waziri mwenye dhamana utusaidie kuangalia kwa jicho la pekee kituo mahiri cha uendeshaji wa nishati jadidifu cha Kikuletwa kilichopo jijini Arusha. Tunaomba kituo hiki kipate kibali cha kuwa kituo mahiri cha uendeshaji wa nishati jadidifu na matumizi bora ya nishati hapa nchini. Kwa kuwa kituo hiki ndicho kituo kikongwe cha nishati hapa nchini tangu kuanzishwa kwake takribani miaka 100 iliyopita. Sasa kiwe ndicho kituo chenye kuleta chachu ya mabadiliko ya nishati, hususan nishati mbadala hapa nchini. Ndugu mgeni rasmi, tunaamini utatupatia wataalamu mahiri ili waweze kufuatilia namna bora ya kukipa thamani kituo hiki. Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri Mkuu na Waziri wa Nishati, napenda kusisitiza kuwa serikali ya mkoa imejizatiti katika kuhakikisha tunatoa elimu na fursa kwa wananchi na wadau wa sekta mbalimbali katika kuhakikisha kuwa tunaleta mabadiliko chanya katika matumizi ya nishati. Kama tunavyoshuhudia katika kutangaza shamra za Land Rover Festival ambayo ilikuwa ndiyo msafara mkubwa zaidi na kusanyiko wengi wenye magari zaidi duniani aina ya Land Rover. Sasa na wakati mwafaka wa kuhamasisha matumizi ya teknolojia rafiki kwa mazingira, kusaidia kilimo cha kisasa kinachotumia nishati kidogo, na pia kufundisha jamii kuhusu umuhimu wa uhifadhi wa nishati na kutangaza matumizi na kupunguza matumizi yasiyohitajika. Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri Mkuu na Waziri wa Nishati, mwisho lakini sio kwa umuhimu, kama ilivyo ada, nitoe wito kwa washiriki wote kutumia nafasi hii ya uwepo wa mkoa wa Arusha kufanya manunuzi, matembezi katika vivutio mbalimbali vya utalii katika mbuga zetu za Arusha kama vile Arusha National Park, Snake Park, Lake Manyara, Olduvai Gorge na mamlaka ya hifadhi ya Ngorongoro. Vile vile Arusha ni makao makuu ya Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki, Mahakama ya Afrika ya Haki za Binadamu na Watu na mambo mengi mazuri ili kuweza kufurahia mandhari mazuri ya Arusha na hali ya hewa ya Arusha na ukarimu wa watu wa Arusha. Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri Mkuu, niendelee kusisitiza kwa wenzetu hawa, kama nilivyosema kwamba tunayo maeneo mengi ya vivutio, si Arusha tu. Tuko hapo jirani na mlima wetu Kilimanjaro, mlima ambao ni mrefu zaidi Afrika, nadhani ni wa pili duniani. Lakini tunazo mbuga nzuri kama nilivyosema, lakini tunazo beach nzuri Zanzibar. Na Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri Mkuu, kutoka hapa kwenda Zanzibar nadhani hata saa ifiki. Lakini tunayo maeneo mengine mengi mazuri. Kwa hiyo niwaombe, baada ya shughuli nzito mtakayoifanya takriban ya siku 2, basi pateni nafasi ya kuzunguka kwenye hayo maeneo ili muwe sehemu ya historia ya kutangaza vivutio vyetu na kushuhudia maajabu ambayo Mwenyezi Mungu ameweka juu ya nchi yetu. Lakini mnavomaliza kazi zenu jioni, tembeleeni maeneo mbalimbali ya Arusha. Tunavyo vyakula vizuri, lakini kwa upande wa Arusha ni maarufu kwa katika uchomaji wa nyama. Wanachoma nyama ambayo ina ladha ambayo hujawahi kuiona popote duniani, na nyama bora kushinda nyama zote duniani. Kwa hiyo Arusha unapokuja utashuhudia mambo mengi, ukiachia mambo ya hewa, lakini vyakula, lakini kikubwa ukarimu wa watu wetu. Na sisi kwa kweli, Naibu Waziri Mkuu, tumejiandaa kuhakikisha kwamba wageni wetu pindi watakapokuwa Arusha kwa takriban siku 2, yaani usalama wao tutauzingatia sana. Na sisi tumesema Arusha unatembea masaa yote 24, kuko salama, safi kabisa. Lakini tuwaombe tu kwamba mtumie hela zenu kidogo basi, ili na nyinyi tuone mchango wenu katika jiji letu la Arusha. Sisi tunayo mambo mawili tu, kuimarisha amani, lakini kutafuta pesa kwa ajili ya watu wetu. Kwa hiyo msibane bane. Baada ya kusema hayo, Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri Mkuu, niendelee kuwashukuru wageni wetu kwa kongamano hili na niwatakie mkutano mwema kabisa. Nadhani mtajadili mambo mazuri ambayo yataleta mabadiliko, na sisi tunajua kwamba tukitunza mazingira na mazingira tutunza, lakini tusipotunza mazingira, mazingira yatatuadhibu kama vile ambavyo yameanza kutuadhibu. Tumeshuhudia mambo mbalimbali yanatokea, mafuriko, umeona vimbunga, yaani mambo mengi ambayo ni matokeo ya uharibifu wa mazingira. Baada ya kusema hayo, niwashukuru sana. Asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza. Mwenyezi Mungu awabariki.
Asante sana, Honorable District Commissioner, who is representing the Regional Commissioner of Arusha, for those welcoming remarks that have gone all into our hearts. Honorable guest of honor, as we are all aware that this conference is hosted by Tanzania's Ministry of Energy, which is your ministry, Honorable guest of honor, but it is hosted in partnership with the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, the European Union, and the Embassy of Ireland. We are delighted, and truly, let's put our hands together for the host countries and organizations. Allow me now, Honorable guest of honor, to invite the Chairman of the Energy and Minerals Parliamentary Committee, Honorable David Matayo, for his remarks, to be followed by the remarks by Mr. Amon Manyama from the United Nations Resident Coordination. Karibu, Honorable Matayo. Can we give him a round of applause as he got to the stage? Karibu.
Mheshimiwa Dr. Doto Mashaka Biteko, Mbunge, Naibu Waziri Mkuu na Waziri wa Nishati, Mheshimiwa Veronica Nduva, Katibu Mkuu wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki, Mheshimiwa Geoffrey Pinda, Naibu Waziri, Kaimu Mkuu wa Mkoa wa Arusha, Mwenyekiti wetu wa Chama cha Mapinduzi wa Mkoa wa Arusha, mawaziri mbalimbali kutoka nje ya nchi, wajumbe wa Kamati ya Nishati na Madini wa Bunge la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania na wabunge wote walioko hapa, Katibu Mkuu Injinia Mramba, wadau wote wa nishati, mabibi na mabwana, na wasalimu kwa jina la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania.
Kazi iendelee.
Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri Mkuu, ambaye pia ni mgeni wetu rasmi, ni heshima kubwa sana kupewa nafasi hii kutoa salamu mbele ya mkusanyiko huu katika kongamano na mkutano wa kikanda wa nishati endelevu kwa nchi za Afrika, ikiwemo Afrika Mashariki. Mkutano huu ni ushahidi wa kujitolea kwetu kwa pamoja kushughulikia changamoto kubwa ya nishati zinazoikabili kanda yetu, huku tukikumbatia fursa kubwa zilizopo mbele yetu. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, nishati bora au nishati endelevu si tu ndoto ya kiufundi, bali ni nguzo ya msingi ya mabadiliko ya kiuchumi, kijamii na kimazingira. Kama mataifa ya Afrika Mashariki, sisi kama mataifa ya Afrika Mashariki tunakutana katika wakati muhimu ambapo ongezeko la idadi ya watu na upanuzi wa uchumi vinaongeza mahitaji ya nishati kwa kasi sana. Bila mfumo madhubuti na wenye ufanisi, mahitaji haya yanaweza kuhatarisha rasilimali zetu, kuongeza gharama na kudhoofisha malengo yetu ya maendeleo. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, mkutano huu unasisitiza umuhimu wa kushirikiana kikanda. Changamoto zetu ni za pamoja na suluhisho zetu zinapaswa kuwa za pamoja pia. Kwa kushirikiana tunaweza kufanya yafuatayo. Kwanza, kuendeleza na kutekeleza viwango vya kikanda vya nishati bora au nishati endelevu kwa kuzingatia udhabiti na upanukaji. 2, kutumia utaalamu na mbinu bora kutoka mataifa mbalimbali ya kanda kuhakikisha maendeleo kwa kila nchi. 3, kujenga miundombinu ya mipakani, yani kuweka mitandao ya nishati iliyounganishwa ambayo inaongeza ufanisi wa rasilimali na kupunguza gharama kwa nchi zote. Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri Mkuu na mgeni wetu rasmi, nishati bora haihusu tu kuhifadhi rasilimali. Unahusu pia kufungua fursa mpya. Mifumo yenye nishati bora inapunguza gharama za uendeshaji kwa biashara na hivyo kuwawezesha kukua kwa ajira. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, kwa kaya, akiba ya nishati ina maana ya ongezeko la kipato kinachopatikana na kuboresha ubora wa maisha. Kwa serikali, kupunguza upotevu wa nishati kuna maanisha rasilimali zaidi zinazoweza kuendelezwa kwenye sekta muhimu kama vile afya, elimu na miundombinu mingine. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, nishati bora au nishati endelevu ina nafasi muhimu katika kupambana na mabadiliko ya tabia nchi, kupunguza utegemezi wa mafuta yani fossil fuel, kunaweza kupunguza kwa kiasi kikubwa utoaji wa carbon na kutimiza ahadi zetu chini ya mikataba ya kimataifa kama mkataba wa Paris. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, tuchukue nafasi hii kuifanya Afrika Mashariki kuwa kiongozi wa kimataifa katika mfumo endelevu wa nishati. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, sisi kamati ya kudumu ya Bunge la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania tunaosimamia nishati na madini tunakuhakikishia usaidizi wetu thabiti wa kuendeleza nishati bora, na sisi kama kamati majukumu yetu ni kama ifuatayo. Kwanza, kutunga sheria, kuweka sheria zinazochochea mazoea ya matumizi ya nishati bora na kuadhibu tabia za kupoteza rasilimali ya nishati. Na programu za serikali kuhusu nishati bora au nishati endelevu zinatekelezwa kwa ufanisi. 3, kuunga mkono utoaji wa bajeti ya kutosha, mipango na nishati bora na programu za kujenga uwezo. 4, kuongeza uelewa miongoni mwa wananchi kuhusu faida za nishati bora au nishati endelevu na kuhimiza ushiriki wao kikamilifu. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, mkutano huu sio tu jukwaa la mazungumzo, ni wito wa kuchukua hatua. Mkutano huu ni wito wa kuchukua hatua. Kama viongozi, watunga sera na wadau, tunapaswa kusonga zaidi ya mjadala hadi hatua ya kivitendo zinazotoa matokeo yanayoweza kupimika. Tunaweza kujitahidi kufanya yafuatayo. Kwanza, kuimarisha ushirikiano wa kikanda, kuwekeza katika teknolojia zenye nishati bora au zenye kutumia nishati endelevu, kusaidia uvumbuzi na utafiti katika sekta ya nishati. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, kwa kumalizia, safari ya kuelekea nishati katika nishati bora si chaguo, ni lazima. Pamoja tuna rasilimali, utaalamu na nia ya kuibadilisha Afrika Mashariki kuwa mfano wa matumizi endelevu ya nishati na ustawi wa kiuchumi. Natoa shukrani zangu kwa waandaaji wa mkutano huu na kwa washiriki wote kwa kujitolea kwao kwa ajili ya dhamira hii. Tuondoke hapa tukiwa na maono ya pamoja na azimio la kujenga Afrika Mashariki angavu, ya kijani na yenye ustawi zaidi. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi na wageni wetu, tunawakaribisha kama mlivyokaribishwa na mkuu wa mkoa katika mbuga zetu, milima yetu ambayo tunayo, mbuga ya Serengeti, Ngorongoro, mlima Kilimanjaro, lakini tusisahau kwenda Zanzibar. Asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa David Matayo, mwenyekiti kamati ya kudumu ya Bunge. A honorable guest of honor, recalling the commitment that was made at COP28 by the governments to double the global average annual rate. As Honorable David Matayo just said, that this conference now is a platform for fostering networking and collaborative initiatives among stakeholders, policymakers, practitioners, researchers, and the public to advance energy efficiency practices across the region. Once again, we are totally honored to host this conference here in Arusha, Tanzania. I now have the pleasure, guest of honor, with your permission, to invite Mr. Amon Manyama, representative of the United Nations Resident Coordinator's Office, for his remarks, to be followed by that of the European Union. Anapokuja, naomba tumpigie makofi mwakilishi wa Umoja wa Mataifa.
Honorable Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister for Energy, Dr. Doto Mashaka Biteko, Honorable Deputy Minister Pinda, Representative for the Commissioner for Arusha, Permanent Secretary of Energy, Ndugu Mlamba, Secretary General of the East Africa, esteemed members of the Parliament Standing Committees, high-level delegates from participating countries, Head of Cooperation Delegation of European Union to Tanzania and the East Africa, Mr. Mark, colleagues from the World Bank Country Director for Malawi, Tanzania, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, who is here, Mr. Berete, wadau wa maendeleo na washirika na mashirika ya Umoja Mataifa, wawakilishi wa taasisi zisizo za kiserikali na sekta binafsi, na viongozi wote wa dini, wanahabari, mabibi na mabwana, itifaki imezingatiwa. Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Napenda kusoma neno hili la ufunguzi kwa niaba ya mwakilishi wa Umoja wa Mataifa ambaye hakuweza kufika hapa. First and foremost, I thank God the Almighty for granting us this opportunity to convene here today. United in our shared commitment to fostering sustainable development, it is true by grace that we gather in this beautiful city of Arusha, as colleagues have said, for such a critical, timely discussion on energy efficiency. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the government of the United Republic of Tanzania through the Ministry of Energy for their visionary leadership and the dedication to advancing energy efficiency. I also take this opportunity to express profound appreciation to our esteemed guest of honor, the Honorable Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister for Energy, Dr. Biteko, for his presence and the commitment to this important cause. It is a honor to address this distinguished gathering at the Regional Energy Efficiency Conference. This conference serves as a vital platform for dialogue, innovation, and collaboration for key drivers in advancing energy efficiency as a cornerstone for sustainable development. Distinguished delegates, energy efficiency transcends its technical nature to become a transformative force with a profound implication for achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, or Agenda 2030. By optimizing energy use, reducing waste, and increasing productivity, energy efficiency directly advances SDG 7, which focuses on ensuring universal access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy. It is through energy efficiency that we can bridge the gap between energy demand and supply, reduce the financial burden on households and the industries, and make energy truly accessible to all segments of the society. Moreover, energy efficiency is integral to SDG 13, which calls for urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. By lowering the greenhouse gas emissions and reducing the carbon intensity of economic activities, energy efficiency supports the transition toward a low-carbon, climate-resilient future. For instance, energy-efficient technologies in industries, transportation, and the building like this one helps to mitigate environmental harm while fostering innovation and growth. Energy efficiency benefits extend beyond the energy sector and climate change, driving economic growth by lowering costs and boosting competitiveness, enabling reinvestment in innovation also. It also reduces inequalities by making energy more affordable and accessible, particularly for the vulnerable communities. Ladies and gentlemen, the United Nations Development Program, as part of the UN family, is proud to support Tanzania's journey towards sustainable energy. Over the last 2 years, UNDP has worked closely with the Ministry of Energy and other stakeholders to implement the Energy Efficiency Action Plan, which aligns with the Tanzania Vision 2025 and SDGs. This included capacity building programs in the area of energy audit, energy management, designed to develop a cadre of experts who are spearheading energy management and audits across the country. Through partnership with academic institutions like Dar es Salaam Institute of Technology, UNDP has also supported a Master of Science in Sustainable Energy Engineering scholarships for 35 young women, equipping them with the necessary skills in advancing energy sector in the country. Additionally, over 150 participants from the public and private sectors have been equipped with the skills to optimize energy use and drive sustainability through energy audit and management training. These programs are fostering a skilled workforce to strengthen energy management and audit capabilities across the nation. Furthermore, UNDP, in collaboration with TIRIDO, facilitated the Energy Efficiency Innovation Challenge, targeting young innovators across the country. 10 innovators benefited with the grants funds to develop their innovations focusing on energy efficiency technologies. These kind of initiatives are critical in catalyzing creative thinking among Tanzanians entrepreneurs and researchers to finding and implementing locally driven solutions to energy challenges. ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here today, let us remember that the path to sustainable development is paved with collaboration. It is only by working together across governments, development partners, and the private sector, civil society, academia, and the public that we can unlock the potential of energy efficiency. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the invaluable support provided by European Union and the Embassy of Ireland, whose partnership has been instrumental in advancing energy efficiency initiatives in Tanzania. On behalf of the United Nations system in Tanzania, I commend the government and all stakeholders for their dedication to advancing energy efficiency. This conference provides a valuable platform to deepen our commitment and explore innovative pathways for impactful collaboration. By prioritizing energy efficiency, we can drive progress that benefits our nation while contributing to global energy and the climate goals. I am confident this gathering will yield meaningful outcomes, paving the way for a more sustainable, equitable, and a prosperous future. Let us seize this opportunity of being here to strengthen partnership and chart a path toward shared success. Together, we can make a big and a transformed difference. Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Asante sana.
This is an energy conference, ladies and gentlemen, and I do not feel the energy in the room. Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. That is close. Honorable guest of honor, allow me to really thank Mr. Amon Manyama, the representative of the resident coordinator of the United Nations in Tanzania, for his remarks. As I recall the adage that we have in Africa, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go further, go together. And this is why the European Union have been with us on this journey. And allow me now, guest of honor, to invite Mark Stolzmann, who is the head of cooperation delegation of the European Union to Tanzania and the East African community, for his remarks, to be followed by that of the World Bank. Mark, karibu, we are ready for your remark. As he comes, let's put our hands together for him. Karibu.
Asante Sana, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Energy, Honorable Deputy Minister of Land and Housing and Human Settlements, distinguished Permanent Secretary and Deputy Permanent Secretaries, Honorable Ambassador, dear colleagues from member states and donors community, honorable members of parliament, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen, habari za asubuhi. So I would say that I'm very proud to be with you today, because it's the first regional conference on energy efficiency of the region, and I'm very proud that this conference is organized by Tanzania in Arusha. To be honest with you, I realized that I'm brand new in this country since less than 3 months, and I'm already proud of all the events and all the good results that I can witness in this country. I'm a bit like a truly Tanzanian citizen for the time being, just after 3 months. So thank you so much for this. Starting with the subject, of course, you all know better than me that energy efficiency is the first fuel of clean energy transition. This is quite clear. And saving energy is, of course, a very important source of energy as such. And this source of energy is easy to get and is less expensive than all the other sources of energy we have and we see. And it's also the best way to diminish CO2 emission in the world. We were all coming back from Baku, the COP29, where there were some very difficult discussion between partners around the world on, the conclusion and the commitments to be made by different countries in the world. So on one side, of course, we should get more energy to increase the quality of life for citizens, to increase also the industry and the economic interest of our countries. On the other side, we all want to have less pollution for the climate, because we are all suffering from climate change consequences, especially in that part of Africa. This being said, we are not in Washington, we are not in Paris, we are not in Japan, we are not in China. We are in East Africa, we are in Tanzania, and we are in Arusha. And thanks God, I think that with regard to the production of renewable energy, this region is a champion. It's a champion because, the level of the production of the renewable energy in this part of the world is the highest in the world, and the potential are very important, huge, still to come. So hydropower, wind, solar, and we can also speak about green hydrogen. This is really impressive, and energy efficiency should be on top of those kind of production to help the rest of the world decreasing the pollution. This is clear. Now coming to Tanzania, I think that looking at a little bit on the results since 3 years of our program, I was really impressed. I was more than impressed. I was astonished to see the very good results we get together in the sector of energy efficiency. The country is now disposing of a national strategy, an action plan. We also see that there is clearly standards, norms for more common appliance in this country, fridges, air conditioning, etc. So this is now clear in the mind of everybody. There is also labeling in this country, which is really good. And those labeling, sometimes I can speak about labeling in Europe. It's difficult to understand. In your country, you manage it with a system of stars, and I think it's completely clear to citizens. You will also have important institutions, including regulatory bodies, auditors, managers, laboratories, testing materials, and we see also some relationship with the University of Dar es Salaam for the production and education and the training of all those important actors for the energy efficiency in this country. We also see that there is a beginning of a framework for the building construction. We all know that energy efficiency is also very important in terms of keeping the warm or the cold within the buildings. So now I can only congratulate very much, Tanzania, the Ministry of Energy and the Minister of Energy for all those very good and impressive results I was just giving. Thank you so much. But, of course, and that's why we are here today, energy efficiency is also an important regional matter. You can imagine that if Tanzania have labels, all the things I was citing before, standards, norms, labeling, institution to verify the quality of the materials, etc., if all the countries of the region have different norms and standards, it's not flying within the region. So, of course, energy efficiency is also an important regional question. it won't make any sense to have those different norms and standards within the region. So that's why it's important to have all the regional actors today for this first regional conference together. No, I think that with the good results that we can witness in Tanzania, we should start discussing within the region to try to have the same level of understanding, to try to get the same norms, the same labeling process, etc. It's also a question of trade and e-commerce, because regional integration is first a question of trade, e-commerce before the rest. And to do so, of course, we need to have, a common understanding with regard to energy efficiency also. So this organization of the Regional Energy Efficiency Conference in Arusha today makes a lot of sense. This is the first regional organization conference of the region. The purpose for me is quite clear. The first purpose should be, of course, that the different countries of the region should share good practices, the way that each and every country is finding solution to the problems I was mentioning before. And of course, this is hopefully also the place to define together regional standards, regional labels, regional regulation as well. So the EU and our partners, the Embassy of Ireland and our friends, partners of the UNDP, that were with us together for the implementation, together with the Ministry of Energy, of our program in Tanzania, we stand ready to help you in your different countries at the same time. Because, of course, energy efficiency, renewable energy, climate change are the top priorities of the European Union for the years to come. This is quite clear. So I will finish my intervention by wishing you frank, fruitful discussion, and hopefully also it's a good opportunity for everybody to have, capacity of networking, especially for the newcomers in the country like me. Thank you so much. Asante sana.
Asante sana ndugu Mark Stolzmann kutoka Umoja wa Ulaya kwa salamu zako. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, ni kuombe sasa uniruhusu nimkaribishe ndugu Nathan Balete, World Bank Country Director wa Malawi, Tanzania, Zambia na Zimbabwe, kwa niaba ya wadau wetu wote wa maendeleo. Nathan, karibu sana. As he comes, may we please put our hands together for him. Karibu.
Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri Mkuu, Daktari Doto Mashaka Biteko, the Regional Commissioner Representative for Arusha, Honorable Jeffrey Pinda, the Deputy Minister for Land, Housing, Human Settlements, Honorable Members of Parliament, Engineer Maramba, the Permanent Secretary, critical importance of energy efficiency in Africa, particularly in the context of the continent's low rate of energy access. Energy efficiency is not just a technical necessity, it's a socioeconomic imperative. In sub-Saharan Africa, approximately 560 million people lack access to modern energy service. This energy deficit hampers economic growth, limits educational opportunity, and exacerbates the health of our citizens. By improving energy efficiency, we can make significant strides in addressing all these challenges. Firstly, energy efficiency can lead to substantial cost savings. For instance, in Ethiopia, the distribution of 5 million compact fluorescent light bulbs through a World Bank project saved 80 megawatts of electricity, equivalent to 100 million investments in new power plants for just $4 million. This example underscores how energy efficiency measures can provide high return on investments freeing up resources for other critical development needs. Secondly, energy efficiency can play a crucial role in maximizing the use of limited energy resources and reducing energy costs. In rural areas where economic activities are often constrained by limited access to reliable electricity, improving energy efficiency can enhance productivity and the quality of life by promoting energy-efficient appliances and practices, including clean cooking appliances like induction cookers. Rural households and beneficiary businesses can significantly reduce their energy consumption, leading to lower indoor air pollution and electricity bills and increased disposable income for essential needs. In addition, energy efficiency can free up domestic resources to facilitate regional power trade, generating income for our countries and enhancing economic resilience. Lastly, energy efficiency can help us maximize environmental impact by reducing greenhouse gas emission and mitigating the impacts of climate change. Strong development is the highest priority of our African countries, and energy efficiency plays a central, pivotal role in climate-smart development. As we strive to increase energy access and increase productivity, we must do so in ways that are sustainable and environmentally friendly to take care of both our people and the planet. This is fully aligned with today's global sustainability goals. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to join you in applauding the participating East Africa Community and Southern Africa Development Community member states in creating this regional energy efficiency conference. We now have the opportunity to network, to collaborate, and advance the cooperation in energy efficiency practices across the entire region. For this very reason, the World Bank is currently investing approximately $9.6 billion in East and Southern Africa, of which approximately $1.7 billion here in the United Republic of Tanzania. And this is precisely to support the efforts of governments to achieve access, generation, transmission, and distribution goals. Energy efficiency is truly a win-win strategy for Africa. It not only addresses the urgent need for increased energy access, freeing up resources, but also promotes economic savings and environmental sustainability, and including regional cooperation. As we move forward, it is imperative that we prioritize and invest in energy efficiency measures to unlock the full potential of the African continent and advance sustainable development. The World Bank is proud of our partnership with our African governments across the continent, and for me as a representative of Tanzania, very proud of our partnership with the United Republic of Tanzania. I look forward to an engaging conference and wish everyone the very best in this. Asanteni sana.
Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Nikushukuru sana Nathan Belete wa World Bank kwa hotuba yako hiyo. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, ni kuomba uniruhusu tutambue uwepo wa Balozi Haji Silima. Balozi Haji amemwakilisha Katibu Mkuu Wizara ya Mambo ya Nje na Ushirikiano wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki. Naomba Balozi tutambue uwepo wako. Naomba tumpigie makofi. Asante sana.
Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri Mkuu na Waziri wa Nishati, pamoja na wageni wetu wote ambao mmefika siku ya leo, tunayo video fupi ambayo imeandaliwa kwa ajili ya kuashiria tu kuanza kwa huu utekelezaji wa programu ya kuhakikisha kwamba tunaelekea kwenye matumizi bora ya nishati. Basi kwa muktadha huo tutapata video fupi inayohusiana na muktadha huo, na baada ya hapo tutamkaribisha mjomba Mrisho Mpoto. Yeye atakuwa na wimbo maalum kwa ajili ya kuchagiza tu kuhusiana na siku ya leo. Basi ninaomba tafadhali tuweze kuangalia video hii fupi, na baada ya hapo Mrisho Mpoto mjomba uweze kujiandaa kwa ajili ya burudani. Asante. Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri Mkuu na Waziri wa Nishati, video hii kama unavyoona, tuendelee. Video hii ni maalum kama nilivyosema kwa ajili ya kuchagiza ili kuashiria kwamba tunakwenda sambamba na kauli mbiu ya kuchagiza matumizi bora ya nishati kwa maendeleo endelevu. Kumbuka kwamba mradi huu ulianza 2022 na sasa tunaendelea kuutekeleza ifikapo mwaka 2025, maana umeongezwa muda, utaendelea kukamilika. Lakini kikubwa kinachozingatiwa hapa ni kuhusiana na umuhimu wa kuwa na mwongozo wa matumizi bora ya nishati ambao huu ni mpango wa miaka 10. Karibu kwa ajili ya video fupi. Asante.
The Ministry of Energy, in partnership with the European Union, the United Nations Development Programme, and the Embassy of Ireland, has organized the Regional Energy Efficiency Conference, or REEC, for East African and Southern African Development Community countries as part of implementing Tanzania's first Energy Efficiency Action Plan. The conference aims to facilitate knowledge exchange, share best practices, and build collaborative networks among member states of the East African Community and Southern African Development Community. By addressing shared challenges and exploring regional opportunities, the conference seeks to advance energy efficiency across the region.
Serikali imeshachukua hatua mbalimbali kwenye kuhakikisha kuwa matumizi bora ya nishati yanatokea kwenye nchi yetu. Moja, serikali imekwisha kuandaa mkakati wa kwanza wa kitaifa wa matumizi bora ya nishati ambao kwa miaka 10 kuanzia mwaka 2024 mpaka 34. Lakini vile vile uanzishaji wa viwango fanisi vya chini vya matumizi bora ya nishati, yani minimum energy performance, kwa bidhaa na vifaa ambavyo vinatumia nishati ya umeme kama vile runinga, majokofu, pamoja na vifaa vingine mbalimbali. Lakini la tatu ni uandishi wa kanuni za ufanisi wa nishati kwa majengo.
Mkutano ule ni mkutano ambao utajadili masuala ya efficiency au matumizi sahihi ya nishati na vifaa sahihi. Hivi ni vifaa vinavyotumia umeme kidogo. Kwa hiyo mkutano ule utajadili na kukubaliana juu ya viwango vya vifaa vinavyotumika katika kutumia umeme, na viwango hivyo vitakubalika kwa nchi zitakazoshiriki, nchi za SADC, na kwa kushirikiana na UNDP, ili kwanza kutengeneza viwango vinavyoweza kukubalika katika nchi zote, lakini pili kukubaliana jinsi ya kuhakikisha kwamba nchi zinatumia viwango hivi.
Mtu kama na nyumba na taa 4 na taa 4 kila taa ina wati 60, akiwasha ile taa kwa masaa 12 kwa muda wa siku 30 atakuwa ametumia unit 86 ambazo ni kilowati 86. Kwa mteja wa chini ambao tunaita ni D1, bili yake kwa mwezi inaweza kuwa shilingi 8640 kwa zile tatu za wati 60. Lakini mteja huyo akatumia taa zenye ufanisi za wati 10, akaziwasha kwa masaa 12 kwa siku kwa muda wa siku 30, yule mtu atakuwa ametumia unit 14 tu kwa mwezi, ambayo gharama yake ni shilingi 1440 kwa mwezi. Kwa mfano, jiko la wati 3000 mtu ambaye analitumia kwa siku 30, kila siku anapewa lisali moja. Kwa siku 30, huyu mtu mwisho wa mwezi atatumia unit 360, ambazo kwa mteja wa kawaida wa D1 kwa mwezi atatumia shilingi 36. Lakini mteja huyu akatumia jiko lenye ufanisi la wati 10, akawa anatumia kwa mwezi mzima atatumia unit 14 peke yake. ambako mwisho wa mwezi atakuwa shilingi 1400.
Energy efficiency is not just about reducing energy consumption. It's a gateway to mitigating climate change and building a more inclusive future. By reducing carbon emissions, driving innovation, and creating green job opportunities, energy efficiency fuels sustainable development, benefiting us all. Gender equality lies at the heart of this vision. Equipping young women with skills in sustainable energy programs builds their capacity to participate in the just energy transition, enabling them to lead, innovate, and thrive in Tanzania's evolving energy sector. The Embassy of Ireland proudly supports initiatives that empower women to break barriers in this vital industry. Together, we are helping to tackle the climate crisis while fostering a future where everyone has the tools and opportunities to succeed.
So the dream would be to have one day a common understanding or a common label in East Africa for electric appliances and cook stoves. Of course, it will encourage trade among East African member states, and one day also more generally in the East African community. Talking about clean cooking, we also envisage to organize a regional conference together with the government of Tanzania and clean cooking, because we have a very strong program in the country, and it is the objective of the government to have also a common approach with its neighbors. I'd like also to mention that the energy efficiency program in Tanzania and in the East African region has a very strong gender dimension. We, in particular, finance some scholarship for young women engineers, because we believe that women are part of the solution concerning energy efficiency. So we really insist that they are taking part on that, and these young women one day will be among the leaders that will help into rolling out energy efficiency in East Africa. One objective of this conference is to look at the minimum energy performance standards and see whether they could be harmonized all over East Africa. For example, a cook stove that would be built in Tanzania in that way could be sold in Kenya or Uganda, respecting the same standards.
There historically there have been several international, sometimes some people call them UN development goals, and currently for the Sustainable Development Goals, there are goals on energy transition to ensure that there is a reduction of carbon emissions. And therefore, UNDP, working closely with the government, working closely with the European Union, with the Irish government, are partnering to ensure that Tanzania is able to contribute to reduction of carbon emissions, and therefore to achieve the intended objectives of the energy transition, which means using of clean energy. And as you have heard, even the President of Tanzania, President Samia, talked about clean cooking energy. So it's a broader package of energy adaptation in terms of moving from sources of energy which are more emitting more carbon to those which are emitting less and less and less carbon. And we normally call them clean technology, clean energy technology. So Tanzania, working with other countries, working with the United Nations organizations, working with the partner and the multilateral organizations, is on the way to contribute and to achieve, eventually utilize those clean energy, and therefore achieve the SDG or the Agenda 2030.
Nishati
la 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 this is how we celebrate when we get visitors from other countries.
Matumizi bora ya nishati ndio mpango mzima, mpango mzima, mpango mzima. Kupunguza upotevu wa umeme ili EAC na SADC ziwe salama, ziwe salama. EAC na SADC ziwe salama, ziwe salama, ziwe EAC na SADC ziwe salama.
Karibuni sana wageni wetu. Tunasema kama haujui unapokwenda unaweza kupotea, lakini kama unajua unapokwenda hauwezi kupotea. Karibuni mawaziri wa nishati wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki na Jumuiya ya Maendeleo Kusini mwa Afrika SADC, mkiongozwa na mwenyeji wenu Daktari Waziri wa Nishati Daktari Mashaka Doto Biteko. Tunasema huyu ni mwalimu wa falsafa mbeba maono. Tunapokutana leo zaidi ya watu 400, tukiwa tunajua tuna lengo la kuhakikisha tunakwenda kufanikiwa kupata matumizi bora ya nishati kwa kizazi hiki na kizazi kijacho. Asante na hongereni Wizara Mama, Wizara ya Nishati kwa mipango ya miaka 10 mikakati tuliojiwekea. Basi kama unanisikia, unanielewa kwa lugha adhimu ya Kiswahili, naomba upige makofi mengi sana. Lakini sisi ni wengi, matajiri wa asante, matajiri wa shukurani. Leo tunapokuwepo katika mkutano huu wa kikanda wa matumizi bora ya nishati, naamini tunakwenda kufanikiwa kwenda kuhakikisha tunapunguza upotevu wa nishati ili iende ikawasaidie wale wengine ambao wana uhitaji wa nishati. Tunasema asante wadau wetu wa maendeleo. Asante European Union, naomba tuwapigie makofi ndugu zetu. Lakini pia tunasema asante kwa Benki ya Dunia. Tunasema asante ubalozi wa Ireland. Lakini tunasema asante kwa Umoja wa Ulaya. Jambo hili lingeweza kutokea mahala pengine, lakini kitendo la kuchagua mkutano huu wa kikanda ufanyike Tanzania, na uombe wote tupige makofi kwa ajili yao. Sisi ni Watanzania, sisi ni waungwana, sisi ni watu wakarimu. Tuna makabila zaidi ya 120, lakini tunaunganishwa na lugha moja adhimu ya Kiswahili inayosema titi la mama ni tamu hata likiwa la mbwa. Kiswahili na adhimu, sifayo iliyofumbwa kwa wasiokufahamu. Ni imbe ilivyokubwa, toka kama chemchemu, furika palipozibwa. Toka kama mridhamu, juu kwa wingi furika. Mfano wa Zamzamu yenye rutuba ya Maka, waonyeshe na muhimu kwa wasiokutamka. Wafanyiamu mapajani kukuweka. Lugha yetu ya utoto hata leo nimekuwa, tangu ulimi mzito sasa kusema tunajua. Ni sawa na manukato moyoni mwetu na pua. Pori, bahari na mito tunapita kutumia. Kiswahili kina sifa kwa nao na maana, kinayofanya mataifa mengi kusikilizana. Kinakotoa taarifa wengi tunakuwa bayana. Iwapo kitakufa, roho nyingi zitanuna, kwa sababu ni tajiri kwa fasaha na methali. Tunafikiri wakati hauko mbali, kitakuja kufasili elimu mbalimbali kwa akili na uzuri. Kiwape watu fadhili. Wizara mama, wizara ya nishati, mmetuheshimisha Watanzania, mmeheshimisha nchi, na hii ni zawadi yetu. Tunasema yelele! Karibuni Arusha, karibuni Tanzania.
Ndio mpango mzima, ndio mpango mzima.
Ishara ya mnara ni ishara ya kuambia mawaziri wa nishati, karibuni Tanzania. Hivi ndivyo tunavyowapokea wakarimu wetu.
Ziwe salama.
Yelele! Yelele! Karibuni Arusha, mko sehemu salama. The land of Mountain Kilimanjaro, Serengeti and Ngorongoro. Pokeeni salamu za Daktari Samia Suluhu Hassan. Anasema wageni mioyo yenu, wageni mioyo yenu, karibuni na Zanzibar.
Naomba makofi mengi kwake Mrisho Mpoto mjomba. Tunashukuru sana kwa burudani, sanaa, lakini ujumbe mzito ambao umeubeba katika sanaa yako. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, ninayo heshima kubwa sasa kumleta Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri Geoffrey Pinda, Deputy Minister for Land, Housing and Human Settlements, for his remarks, to be followed by his invitation to you for the launch, the trophies, and your remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Pinda, as he comes, let's put our hands together for him. Karibu sana Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri.
Honorable Dr. Doto Mashaka Biteko, Member of Parliament, Deputy Prime Minister, and the Minister of Energy, and our Chief of Guests. Honorable invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, na wasalimu kwa jina la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. First and foremost, I want to express my gratitude to the most merciful God for granting us life and allowing us to come together today as regional stakeholders involved in energy efficiency. Secondly, I have a great honor to welcome you, Honorable Dr. Doto Mashaka Biteko, Member of Parliament, Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Energy, and our chief guest to this regional energy efficiency conference in Arusha. And thank you personally. We are very grateful, sincerely appreciated your presence. honorable guests of honor, this conference presents and a viable platform to promote greater conditions and collaborating among our nations. It creates opportunity to create a partnership, share knowledge, and shape the future of energy efficiency within the East Africa and the SADC region and beyond. By working together, we are able to unlock the full potential of energy efficiency, enhancing development across our region in our way to sustainable and forward thinking. Therefore, we are expecting, after 2 days of conference, the following output will be achieved. 1, strengthening our commitment to policy development and implementation to improve energy efficiency standards within the region. 2nd, enhance and stimulate regional cooperation and collaboration among different stakeholders and actors in the area of energy efficiency. 3rd, increase awareness and understanding of silent future and energy efficiency tools, common challenges and opportunities for improving energy efficiency initiative and interventions across the regional. And last one, increase awareness on the needed capacity building and skills for women and the youth to adequately support the growth and sustainability of energy efficiency sector with a potential positive impact on job creation and overall development in region. Honorable guests of honor, as we focus on the objective of this opportunity, I am heated by the spirit of collaboration and a shared commitment that has emerged for the next 2 days. Energy experts in the region will collaborate to discuss 4 key themes which will shape the regional energy efficiency opportunities and the benefits on one hand and the challenges and the associated risk on the other. These themes will discuss the various key messages. 1, measures to promote use energy efficient technologies for manufacturing and infrastructure development without sacrificing equality and quantity. 2nd, the role of sound policy framework regulations and the incentives as a key enabler for energy efficiency across sector. 3rd, the crucial role of private sector engagement and the involvement in leading the adoption of sustainable practice and drive long-term profitability. The discussions will unveil the more practical solution to promote energy efficiency solution across all levels of production and consumption. And the last one, the role of regional collaboration by promoting mechanism of working together, sharing knowledge, and strengthening thought collaboration. We can amplify our impact and create more resilient and efficient energy system. Energy challenges are not confined to national borders. This is witnessed here by effective participations from West Africa and the SADC countries. Honorable guests of honor, today I have been tasked with the responsibility of requesting you to officiate this conference, and thereafter we respectfully invite you to launch Tanzania Energy Efficiency Strategic 2024-2034. The objective of this strategy is to improve energy security, reduce poverty, promote innovations, and meeting climate change with a broad scope covering thematic sector such as electricity supply, cooking, manufacturing, mining, and qualifying transportation and building. The preparation of the energy efficiency strategic involved a comprehensive and inclusive process of engaging a wide range of stakeholders from the public and the private sectors, academia, civil society, and the development partners. Honorable guests of honor, with these few remarks, I would like to invite you to address this conference, and after the speech, you will be requested to launch the strategy. You are welcome, honorable guests of honor. Thank you.
Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Kindly take your seats, please. If I have one person who had a very hard time on 26th of November, is my brother Nathan, because that day we had a match between Taifa Star and Ethiopia. And this gentleman, he happens to be a dual citizen between our two nations, between Ethiopia and Tanzania. But when Taifa Star got what he got, I called him, he didn't receive my call. But yesterday, we were in Dar es Salaam together. So I had a chat with him, I asked him, what happened when Taifa Star and Ethiopia were playing, had a match in Ethiopia, you were not available on the phone? He told me I was busy praying for the two nations to end this war peacefully. So again, I have seen him here, and I thank you for coming, my brother Nathan. Honorable Geoffrey Pinda, the Deputy Minister of Land and Housing, delegates from Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, and South Africa, the representative of Arusha Regional Commissioner, Honorable David Matayo, the Chairman of the Parliamentary Standing Committee, Minister and other honorable member of parliaments here present, Mr. Amoni Manyama, the representative of United Nations Residence Coordinator in Tanzania, Mr. Mark Stallman, the head of cooperation and delegation of the European Union to Tanzania and the Eastern African Community, Her Excellency Veronica Nduva, Secretary General of the East Africa Community, Engineer Frichesi Mramba, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Energy, distinguished ambassadors and development partners here present, distinguished delegates from the East Africa Community and SADC, the region leaders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, habarini za asubuhi. Ladies and gentlemen, it is great honor to be with you today at this important gathering of thought leaders, experts, and stakeholders in the field of energy efficiency. First and foremost, I want to thank our Almighty God for giving us life and a chance to gather here today in Arusha. Let me take this opportunity to welcome you to Tanzania, and particularly in Arusha, for this wonderful conference which is happening. Karibuni sana Arusha, and please feel free. Should you think you need something to be done for you to make your stay in Arusha good and comfortable, kindly let us know. I'm very much delighted by the strong turnout and grateful to each other of you for making a journey to be part of this important event. I thank you, friends and colleagues. Your presence will make this conference a success. The insights and experts shared will be not only an advantage for Tanzania's future, but that of the entire African continent in achieving clean energy solution. I would like to begin by expressing my sincere appreciations to the organizers of this Regional Energy Efficiency Conference for their vision and commitment to address the more critical challenges of our time, creating sustainable energy sufficient in the community of the Eastern Africa and SADC and the entire African continent. We as Tanzania, we are privileged to host this conference at a time when our nation's energy strategy are firmly aligned with harnessing the potential of renewable energy, including geothermal energy, for the benefit of both Tanzania and the border region. This conference, ladies and gentlemen, serves as a powerful reminder that energy efficiency is not just an option, but imperatively a cornerstone for securing reliable energy, reducing greenhouse gases emission, and fostering sustainable economic growth. At COP28, the government of Tanzania committed to double the global average annual rate of energy efficiency improvement by 2030. The International Energy Agency Net Zero Pathway indicates that the annual progress needs to increase from the current 2% per year to more than 4% per year to meet this goal. However, according to the last International Energy Agency report, the global efficiency improved only by 1% in the year 2023. This is really below the target which has been set ahead of us. Within the Eastern Africa and SADC region, the progress varies as each country follows distinct pathway in implementing policies, strategies, and technologies. This diversity presents a unique opportunity to enhance regional cooperation by learning from one another the challenges and the success that has been made across our neighboring. Distinguished guests, energy efficiency can sometimes be misperceived as restrictive, raising concern among some business that it may add cost and some complications in their endeavors. While the opposite is true, energy efficiency will reduce cost and it is really economical viable. Regional cooperation allows us to reaffirm and to reframe this narrative, showing that efficiency measures drive productivity, reduce operation cost, and other substantial long-term savings. These 2 days of conference must again demonstrate that energy efficiency is not a constraint, but a driver of economy and the growth of economy and stability at large. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the challenges we are facing ahead are significant. They are not impossible, one would say. Securing adequate financing, coordinating effort across sectors, ensuring technology readiness, maintaining strong commitment are hurdles we must address today through this conference. Insufficient standardized policies and varied levels of technical expatriates across countries complicates the effort to advance energy efficiency across the border. However, through closer involvement and engagement, innovation and leadership, and collective will, we can make this transition to be more energy efficient, sustainable, and prosperous future. In this regard, I would like, therefore, to extend a special thanks to the European Union and the United Nations programs, UNDP, for their generous support in implementing Tanzania's first energy efficiency action plan, and the Embassy of Ireland for their critical contribution as well. This plan, this strategy we are going to launch it today as an indication that we really appreciate the support that has been given by these development partners. Furthermore, I would like to comprehend the private entities, both internally and external organizations, for their endless support for energy efficiency support in the country. The partnership has provided Tanzania with the resource and guidance necessary to set a strong foundation for more energy sufficient and sustainable future. The support of these institutions underscore the power of international cooperation and shared commitment to greener world. Ladies and gentlemen, ensuring technology readiness is very essential for the effective implementation of energy efficiency initiative. This involvement, investing in research and development, strengthening local manufacturing capability, and ensuring that energy efficiency technology is accessible, affordable, suits the unique needs of commitments within our member states. By joining hands with the private sector, innovators, and training institutions, we can build a skillful workforce that understand and maintain advancement of technology, which again will provide energy efficiency possible. Establishment of regulatory standard and certification process will ensure the product that meet with quality and efficient benchmarks, inspiring confidence among consumers and business alike. This commitment to technology readiness will empower our countries to adopt the scale of energy efficiency through solution effective, advancing the suitable and sustainable development goals and fostering the resilience foundation for the future innovation. As an integrated approach helps to harness economic scale of funding, training and technology exchange, make solutions more accessible and more impactful among our members. Yes, we have some problems ahead of us, and that's why we have a conference here today. Despite these challenges, the benefits of energy efficiency are undeniable, far-reaching. Firstly, the energy efficiency directly reduces the operation costs for business and households, allowing for saving that can be reinvested into growth of innovation of the community development. Energy efficiency also play a crucial role in job creation. As we adopt the implementation of energy efficiency technology, new roles emerge in areas such as energy auditing, sustainable building design, and green technology manufacturing, thereby supporting a modern skilled workforce. Furthermore, energy efficiency enhances energy security by reducing dependence on imported fossil fuels, lowering overall energy demand. The stability of energy supply helps to shield our economy from global price fluctuation, making our energy system more resilient and economical supporting. Ladies and gentlemen, energy efficiency also play a vital role in advancing the national clean cooking agenda, championed by President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania. By promoting energy efficiency, cooking technologies, and cleaner fuel, we can reduce household energy costs, improve indoor air quality, and protect our forests from excessive wood fuel consumption. Cleaner, more and efficient clean cooking solution address public health by reducing harmful emission and contribute to gender equality within our country and the African continent. As women and girls often are primary users of traditional cooking methods, spend less time gathering biomass energy for food. This shift toward efficient, sustainable cooking aligns with our broader energy efficiency goal, supporting our collective commitment to be healthier, more sustainable future for us. Ladies and gentlemen, due to the importance of this conference as an invaluable platform to promote greater promotion and collaboration among our nations, we are going to launch today our National Energy Sufficiency Strategy, which serves as a roadmap toward achieving energy efficiency goals. Its implementation requires active participation from sectors, both the government sectors, private sectors, financial institutions, academia, non-governmental organizations, local communities, and development partners should all embrace the local integrated energy efficiency into their daily operations as it contributes to the economy and reduce environmental impact to all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, I want again to assure you that Tanzania is led to take lead of this initiative to make sure energy efficiency is not just a story to be told, but something we have to live with it. As we generate electricity, there is again a call for how do we spend that generated electricity. We want to reduce the energy loss, which is appearing across the entire continent of Africa. Statistics have shown, like, some of the country, they experience energy loss at 15%, 16%, 20%. But here in Tanzania, we're experiencing energy loss of 14%. Still, that is too much. We need to address this matter by embracing energy efficient strategy, which we are going to inaugurate today. So I assure you all stakeholders that the Ministry of Energy and the government of Tanzania is fully committed to support the achievement of the strategy objectives. Let us join hands together to build more energy efficiency economy. With these remarks, and before I continue, I wish you a fruitful engagement for the next few days and beyond. I'm sure you will be provided some experts here who will come here and discuss some topics. Kindly pay attention, listen to them. Should you have questions, please ask them. Make these days more engaging, more fruitful, to make the energy efficiency a daily life, not just a story to be told on a podium like this. Sasa kwa sababu hiyo na kwa sababu ya mazingira tulionayo, tumekutana hapa leo. Nataka nizungumze kidogo na waandishi wa habari kwamba tutakuwa na mkutano huu wa siku 2 juu ya matumizi bora ya nishati, na tunawashukuru sana Umoja wa Ulaya na UNDP kwa kutusaidia kuandaa mkutano huu, ambapo tumekutana nchi wanachama wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki pamoja na SADC ili tujadili kuwa matumizi bora ya nishati yanakuwa sasa ni sehemu ya mipango yetu. Na kama mnavyofahamu kuwa umeme tunazalisha, tunausafirisha, lakini bado tunazo changamoto nyingi za kuhakikisha kuwa umeme tunaozalisha unakuwa unatumika, Kiswahili chake na kikosa, unatumika kwa namna ambayo haileti gharama kubwa. Kwa mfano, kwa ufanisi. Kwa mfano, kuna sababu gani ya mtu anatoka kwenye nyumba yake, hayumo ndani ya nyumba, anaacha taa zote zimewaka wakati wote, unakuta AC inazunguka, hakuna mtu ndani. Kitendo hicho cha kutumia umeme hivyo bila kuwa na ufanisi, unaongeza mzigo kwenye uzalishaji wa umeme ambao kiasi fulani ambao ungepatikana ungetusaidia wote kabisa kuweza kutupa umeme wa kutosha ili tuweze kuwahudumia wananchi wetu. Kwa hiyo mkutano huu utakuwa hapa kwa muda wa siku 2, leo na kesho. Tumealika wataalamu mbalimbali ambao watakuwa hapa kwa ajili ya kuzungumza mada tofauti tofauti. Tumetoa wito kwa wadau wote wa maendeleo, tuendelee kutoa mchango wetu kwenye uwekezaji kwenye ufanisi wa matumizi ya nishati hapa nchini, bila kusahau ajenda yetu ya nishati safi ya kupikia ambayo nchi yetu ni champion wa kuipigia debe kalenda hii. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you again a fruitful engagement, and kindly, as the RC said, just get a day, go around Arusha. You can also visit some tourism destinations which are around here. It's not just close, it's just close here. If you want to go to Ngorongoro, we will help you to reach Ngorongoro without any delay. Baada ya kusema hayo, now I wish you all the best, and I officially open this conference and thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much. May I request Honorable Deputy Minister and the Permanent Secretary to please join the guest of honor on the stage. EU and UNDP kindly also join us on the stage. The rest of us, kindly take your seats. Nathan, kindly join us on the stage as well. World Bank. Honorable guest of honor, we are now going to witness as you lead us on the launch of the National Energy Efficiency Strategy 2024-2034. This is a 10-year energy efficiency strategy that will be carried across the entire continent. Honorable guest of honor. Can I have a representative from the Irish Embassy as well? Kindly join us on the stage. These are our key stakeholders. And once the guest of honor has cut the ribbon and unveil the report or the strategy, we shall all clap our hands as the gesture of the inauguration. So can we all count down? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's all clap our hands. Let's continue to clap our hands. Now the guest of honor will unveil by lifting it up high as a gesture now that it is official, ladies and gentlemen. A big round of applause. Nikuombe Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri Mkuu, mgeni wetu rasmi, wakabidhi sasa zawadi za heshima kabisa waliotuwezesha kufanikisha mkakati huu na mradi huu, ukianza na Irish Embassy. Tunaomba zawadi kwa Irish Embassy. Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri na mgeni wetu rasmi, Waziri Mkuu na mgeni wetu rasmi, tunaomba uikabidhi Irish Embassy. Naomba umkabidhi Naibu Waziri, amkabidhi mgeni wetu rasmi. Irish Embassy, brass band. Honorable guest of honor, kindly also accord UNDP with that award. A big round of applause to UNDP, brass band. Honorable guest of honor, kindly extend our gratitude to the European Union. EU. Honorable guest of honor, the final token is truly coming your way, as we really appreciate your tireless efforts in pushing the agenda forward. Kwa hiyo tuzo hiyo ni ya kwako wewe Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri Mkuu na Waziri wa Nishati. Makofi mengi kwake. Ni rasmi tupige picha chache tu za pamoja za kumbukumbu, alafu tukuruhusu uweze kuendelea na ratiba yako. Neema.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri Mkuu na Waziri wa Nishati. Basi hili ni zoezi la upigaji picha. Naomba basi niwashushe wengine waweze kukaa chini pale. Tuanze na utaratibu wa upigaji picha kama ifuatavyo. Naomba waliokuwa meza kuu ya mkuu wa mkoa pamoja na waliobaki tuweze kupanda juu kwa ajili ya upigaji wa picha, tafadhali karibuni. Picha zetu zitakuwa ni chache. Picha ya kwanza itakuwa ni ya meza kuu. Picha ya pili itakuwa na wakilishi wa nchi washiriki kutoka EAC, SADC na ofisi za kibalozi na wadau wa kimataifa wa kikanda. Picha ya tatu itakuwa ni wenye viti wa kamati za kudumu za bunge pamoja na waheshimiwa wa bunge. Karibuni sana kwa ajili ya itifaki hiyo ya picha. Asante. Naomba tuketi tafadhali kwa ajili ya upigaji wa picha. The second picture will involve representative from EAC, SADC, and other representative from different embassies. Please come on stage so that we can have a group photo. You're welcome. Representative from EAC, SADC, and other representative from embassies, please come on board so that we can have a group photo, please. You just come on your right side, and then we just go back on our left side. Thank you. Let's observe this protocol. Ambassadors, representative from EAC, please come on board for a group photo. Without forget development partners, please come on board for a group photo. Thank you. Parliamentary committee, please, and member of parliament, this is your time. Please come on board for a group photo. Karibuni kwa picha ya pamoja, wenye viti wa kamati za kudumu za bunge pamoja na wabunge waliokuja kwa ajili ya tukio la leo. Asante. Naomba tutoke na mkono wa kushoto. Karibu kwa haraka. Asante. Wajiandae wawakilishi wa taasisi za kimataifa pamoja na wadau wa maendeleo. Tafadhali. Naomba niwaite wawakilishi wa taasisi za kimataifa na wadau wa maendeleo. May I call upon developing partners and representative from international organization for a group photo, please. All right, if it's done. Management ya wizara, tafadhali naomba mjiandae kwa ajili ya picha ya pamoja na wakilishi wao. Tafadhali karibuni. Naomba tusogee, tutapita mkono wa kulia, tutapiga picha na kuelekea mkono wa kushoto. Management ya wizara ya nishati. Na bila kuwasahau wakuu wa taasisi pia baadaye watakuja kufuatia. Asante, naomba tuelekee kushoto. Wale wanaokuja kupiga picha wakilishi kutoka wizarani, naomba kwa haraka kidogo. Picha ya pamoja. Management ya wizara. Wakati huo wakuu wa taasisi pia muweze kujiandaa kwa ajili ya kuja kupiga picha. Karibuni sana. Moderator na panelist, naomba mjiandae baada ya picha hii ya management ya wizara. Tafadhali naomba mjiandae kwa ajili ya picha ya pamoja. May I call upon moderators and panelists? Please come on board for a group photo. Ndio wamesogea. Tuko hapa. Naomba tuende tafadhali, asante. Tuingie grupu lingine, moderators pamoja na panelists. Na baada ya hapo tutawaalika viongozi wetu wa dini ambao watafuata kwa ajili ya kupiga picha. Na baadaye tutamalizia kamati ya maandalizi ya kitaifa. Naomba popote mlipo kamati muanze kusogea kwa ajili ya kupiga picha ya pamoja. Viongozi wa dini naomba tusogee tafadhali. Naomba tutoke kwa mkono wangu wa kushoto tafadhali. Tayari tumemaliza kupiga picha. Viongozi wa dini tafadhali na kamati ya maandalizi naomba mjiandae kwa ajili ya kupiga picha. Karibuni viongozi wa dini. Kwa upendeleo kabisa siwezi kuacha kuu ya mkoa jamani. Ni watu muhimu sana. Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri Mkuu na Waziri wa Nishati, kwa idhini yako, kuu ya mkoa ni watu muhimu sana. Na viongozi wetu wa chama waliopo tafadhali karibuni. Karibuni sana kuu ya mkoa. Kamati naomba msubiri kidogo. Naomba niite kuu ya mkoa tafadhali. Viongozi wa chama popote mlipo tafadhali, kwa heshima na taadhima, naomba tuweze kupiga picha. Viongozi wa dini tunawashukuruni sana. Naomba kuu ya mkoa pamoja na wakilishi kutoka ofisi ya mkuu wa mkoa na wengine wote ambao wamefika leo hii wakiwemo marasi, madasi na wengine wote na wakurugenzi pia na wenye viti, ninaomba tafadhali tuweze kupiga picha ya pamoja. Karibuni sana. Kamati mtasubiri, ninyi mtakuwa wa mwisho. Karibuni sana viongozi wetu, wenye viti. Hawa ni wadau muhimu sana katika utekelezaji wa majukumu haya ambayo wizara inafanya. Karibuni sana viongozi wetu kwa ajili ya picha ya pamoja. Karibuni sana. Picha ya mwisho itakuwa ni wanakamati. Asante na shukuru. Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri Mkuu na Waziri wa Nishati, ni waruhusu basi kamati ya maandalizi iliyofanya shughuli nzima ya siku hii ya leo wapande kwenye stage kwa ajili ya kupiga picha ya pamoja. Wanakamati, tunawashukuru sana kwa maandalizi mazuri na asanteni sana kwa kufanya kongamano hili kuwa jema na zuri kwa siku ya leo.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the organizing committee. Let's give them a big round of applause for a great work that they've done to organize this conference. Asante Kamati. May I request all of us now to please stand up? Can we all please stand up so we may allow the guest of honor to take leave? And when he does, I will request all of us, the rest of us, to remain in the room for the high-level panel discussion. Brass band, naomba tuongoze sasa kumsindikiza mgeni rasmi. May I request all of us to please take your seats as I invite Ms. Aida Kiangi, the moderator for the high-level panel discussion that is going to look onto energy efficiency policies, strategies, action plans, and lesson learned. This panel will comprise World Bank, Mr. Nathan Belete, Mr. Canon Muhumuza from EACR-EE, Engineer Innocent Luoga, Commissioner Innocent Luoga from Ministry of Energy, Mr. Osama Kagwa, Assistant Commissioner from Uganda, and Mr. Redley Mkaliki from SACR-EE to come and take the lead. And as we set up the stage, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to request all of us to once again stand up for a quick stretch. Niombe wote tusimame tujinyoshe kidogo kwa afya. Sio mpaka janabi atuambie, si ndio? Can we all please stand up? Let's put our hands up, both our hands up. Naomba wote tusimame tunyoshe mikono juu kabisa. If your neighbor is still sitting, kindly ask him or her to please stand up. Okay, let us all bow to the left. Let's go to the right. Let's go to the front. Let's give a big bow back. Thank you so much. Now kindly be seated. Please be seated. Brass band, naweza nikapata yule burudani fupi kabisa ya kama dakika 2 hivi, au tayari tumeshajipanga kutoka? Kuna ile burudani moja machachari huwa mnatupa kwenye matukio kama haya, fupi tu kutusherehesha wakati tunasubiri kuanza the panel discussion. Ms. Aida Kiangi, are you with us? Ladies and gentlemen, those especially seated at the back, if you would want to come and occupy the front seats, if you're comfortable there, then it's well and good, but my front seats are empty and you can come and occupy the front seats. But as we do, brass band. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to the brass band, police brass band. Tunashukuru sana 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 kwa burudani hiyo. Ladies and gentlemen, we're setting up the stage, ready for the fireside chat. Ready for the fireside chat, which shall be commencing any moment now. May I kindly request to bear with us as we continue with the stage setup. If you need to stretch up a little bit, please feel free. In about 2 minutes, up to 5 minutes, we should be commencing the program in the room. Thank you.
Whether you have a thesis, capstone, a research paper to write,
lini inabidi tuanze na tuendelee. Now, when you look at the fact that the savings that can be made, even in terms of the equivalent, it will look like investment in new projects for generation, with storage and everything else. Sorry about that. I think that there's a lot we can learn in the next few days, and also we've got experts in the room. So please use the opportunity, even in the corridors, during the breaks, to learn as much as you can. Share contacts and keep the discussions going forward. I know there's quite a bit being done in terms of scenario planning for energy in East Africa. This is being led by other organizations, and I know SADC is doing the same. So karibuni sana. So I hope we will enjoy the session. I, for one, am looking forward because I know I'll learn a lot. Asanteni.
Asante, let's give Aida a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for raising up the curtain to the discussion. It's a high-level discussion, as we all heard. The profiles or the names of the participants of this very high-level discussion, I did mention them, although Ida will come back and call them again, but we have the World Bank, we have the EAC-RE, we have the Ministry of Energy, we have Assistant Commissioner all the way from Uganda, but we also have the SACRI coming for this panel discussion. Delighted to also mention that Honorable Chairman of the Permanent Parliamentary Committee has rejoined us and will be participating in the audience side to listen to the deliberations, the discussions that are going to look onto policies, strategies, action plans, and lessons. Asante.
Hello? This session is going to last for 35 minutes. Then after this session, we are going for a lunch. So please bear with us. Karibu sana. Session hii itakuwa ni ya dakika 35 na baada ya hapo tutawaruhusu kwa ajili ya chakula cha mchana. Karibu.
Hi, good afternoon. I'd like to invite the panelists, if you could come forward, Engineer Luoga. Then I'd next like to invite Mr. Canon Muhomoza. Can you guys hear me? Okay, karibu Mr. Canon. And then next I'd like to invite Mr. Kagwa from Uganda, Mr. Belete, and I think we should be good. Yes. Karibuni. Once again, good afternoon, and thank you so much for your patience. So we've started the day well, and we've got a lot of insights from the presenters we had earlier. But just to take us back a bit in terms of the demand for energy in Africa is quite high. I mean, we're looking at the expected growth in industry, transport, whether it's passengers and freight, and also agriculture. Right now, we generate about 2% as the continent, the globe, we're looking at the global numbers. And despite and this is with 18% of the global population. So clearly we still have a long way to go, but it also means we have a lot of really, really good opportunities to leapfrog where others have not been able to. Almost 10% of what we produce or generate is renewable, and from renewable sources, and we're looking at almost 6 to 6% from hydropower. So if you look at the numbers we have, that's about over 600 million people who are not able to still access power. So whereas it's a challenge, it's still an opportunity for us. So I'd like to start with Engineer Luoga, especially since we have, as a country, launched our strategy and plan. I'm quite excited. What are our state or government priorities in advancing energy efficiency right now? Asante, karibu.
Thank you very much, the moderator, for the question, but also I thank you for the introduction of this agenda. Before responding to the question, what are the government priorities in the energy efficiency, I would like to join my permanent secretary as well as the Deputy Prime Minister. First, to thank the European Union and the UNDP and all other development partners for the support in the energy sector development in our country. But also I'd like to take this opportunity also on behalf of the Minister of Energy to thank all the participants who has come here to attend this regional energy efficiency conference, which is very important. Yeah, after that, then, as we have been introduced, my name is Engineer Nelson Tuloga. I'm the Commissioner responsible for electricity and renewable energy in the Ministry of Energy. Yes, I would like to say that we, as the government, we have the priorities now in the energy efficiency, and today we all witnessed the launching of this National Energy Efficiency Strategy. This is our priority. And if you recall, within this year only we have prepared about 3 strategies. On May this year we have launched, Our Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan launched the National Clean Cooking Strategy. Also it was for 10 years, from 2024 to 2034. And the main objective for this is to fast track or to promote the use of clean cooking technologies, and also transferring the population, shift the population about 80% by 2034. So this is one of the strategy in order to we wanted to shift or to make sure that the society are using clean cooking technologies. But also we have prepared, and it is on the pipeline for launching, the renewable energy strategy, which also indicate the main objective is to indicate and show the priorities in the renewable energy project. So this strategy indicate or locate the areas where there are resources for solar and wind. So this is also our priority for the government. And today, as we all witnessed, that we have launched the National Energy Efficiency Strategy, which sets targets, ambitious target for the use of energy efficiency. This is very important event for today. As we are looking forward, it has been said by the permanent, the Deputy Prime Minister, that this strategy is going, we have set ambitions to shift also in the use of energy efficiency, especially in the electric appliances. But also this strategy is going along with the action plan, as well as the preparation of the minimum energy performance standard, energy levels. This is very important. So at the government, we have these priorities. First, to make sure that we are now shifting to the use of renewable energy, and the preparation of these strategies are also the opportunities, for the private sector. Through these strategies, there are a lot of actions or activities to be done, and the government alone cannot do it alone. So we are inviting private sector, development partners to support on the implementation of these strategies, but as well as also to participate on this. So having these strategies is also an opportunity for the private sector as well as the development partners. So we call upon all private sectors, we call upon development partners to come join together efforts with the government on the implementation of these strategies. But I should use this chance also to inform participants that you have said it on your introduction, that about 600 million people in the sub-Saharan country does not have electricity. And we have here the World Bank, my brother Nathan Berete, but also the FDB, together with other development partners. In January, we are going to have the Africa Heads of State Energy Summit meeting. This summit is going to also to launch a national energy compact for 5 years, 2025-2030, which aims at accelerating the availability of electricity in the country by half of it. That means 300 million people to be electrified by 2030. So these are the initiatives, but also these are the priority of the country to make sure that we increase accessibility in the country, but also we use clean cooking technologies. Thank you.
Engineer Luoga. Before we go to our regional think tanks, I'd probably like to invite our Assistant Commissioner from Uganda to get a sense of how they've supported energy efficiency across the different sectors of the economy, and also recognizing that Uganda has started this journey earlier than most of us, and maybe one or two of the challenges, opportunities they might have seen through the journey until now.
Thank you very much, Sarah. I'd like to, first of all, thank the government of Tanzania for hosting this event and inviting us to participate, but also congratulate them for the launch of the National Energy Efficiency Strategy. And also just inform you that across the region, it looks like we're moving at the same pace, because we're just also starting on that back home in Uganda. Hopefully we'll get a chance to invite you as well on such an event. So, Ida, we have quite a number of strategies that we have proposed back in Uganda, but you find that many of them again have been mentioned through the speeches that have come up today. I just want maybe to touch on some of the one key challenge, and that's the challenge of data when it comes to energy efficiency. Because of time, I think with energy efficiency, it's not like many other energy interventions, whether it's energy access or infrastructure projects to build a dam. Energy efficiency continuously evolves. The technology that perhaps you had this year is not going to be the same way. It's going to improve next year. But the lack of data across board, I think, is one of the biggest hindrances to that. And that cuts across, whether it's government, private sector, academia, who should be leading into this research and development, like the Right Honorable Prime Minister mentioned. I think that's one key area that really we need to focus on. And as Africa or Sub-Saharan Africa, we have the opportunity to learn from what the developed world has gone through with when it comes to energy efficiency or lack thereof of planning for energy efficiency. So I think this is for us an opportunity in terms of data collection, data management, data analysis, and then utilizing this energy to come up with new solutions for this. And again, you find also this goes along with the inadequate financing that I think has also been touched upon quite a lot, because I don't remember which speaker it was, but they talked about the fear for people to employ energy efficient technologies, thinking they're expensive. So again, there's the challenge of awareness when it comes to energy efficiency in terms of that. So my focus really for me or takeaway for this would be data availability and awareness when it comes to energy efficiency. I think that we have to address both nationally but also regionally to get the solutions for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just picking up on what you highlighted in terms of the fear of taking up whether it's the technology and in terms of appliances. I know the Deputy Prime Minister talked about industries worrying that it'll increase costs for them. I'd like to probably ask Dennis, who sits at the more technical side and has a sight over East Africa and other regions, in terms of what innovations are we seeing, and even where we see the challenges of the uptake, what techniques or tactics have we used, or are you seeing people using, or countries to adopt? Karibu.
Yeah, thank you. The EAC region and the SADC region are working together to develop and implement energy efficiency policies and standards. And this is happening because we have regional renewable energy and energy efficiency centers. One is the East African Center of Excellence for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, IACRI, which is housed in Uganda. And then also the SADC Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, which is located in Windhoek, Namibia. There is a regional energy efficiency project which has been coordinating these two regional economic communities. And this project is the Energy Efficient Lighting and Appliances Project in East and Southern Africa. So from that project and also from these two regional centers, there is a lot of initiatives that have been done to harmonize standards and policies at a regional level. One is the EAC region is already working together to develop the EAC energy efficiency policy. National consultations have been done, regional harmonization meetings have been done, and now it is waiting some further consultations here in the United Republic of Tanzania. So after Tanzania has given further input, we expect this policy to be adopted by the region. And this will work hand in hand with the energy efficiency strategy for Tanzania and other policies and strategies of the partner states. On standards, of course, if we are to adopt energy efficiency practices, standards and labels are very key. And so the EAC and the SADC regions are working together to develop the regional minimum energy performance standards for lighting. For example, in the EAC, the maps for lighting were adopted in July 2022, and the SADC adopted in 2021. And already, a number of countries have adopted them at a national level. In the EAC, Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, South Sudan, DRC have already adopted, and we are waiting to hear about Tanzania, whether they have also adopted these standards. We are also working on the EAC and SADC energy labels. Of course, we need to our market, our consumers, to be aware of energy efficient products. They should be able to differentiate from an energy efficient product from an inefficient one. So the process is ongoing, and of course we need further consultations from you, the stakeholders, to provide your input, and even we need other development partners to come on board and support. Another issue that is happening is on public procurement. The government institutions tend not to focus on energy efficiency in the procurement process. So we have the EAC and the SADC regional public procurement guidelines, which countries can use to improve on their procurement processes so that you can consider energy efficiency in your procurement process. Capacity building, of course, there has been also capacity building activities happening at the national level and also at the regional level, where we have some what called the e-learning platform, where people join online and learn about energy efficiency. On the issue of testing, each country in EAC and SADC have received a portable lighting testing equipment. This is from the ELA project, which is being implemented by UNIDO, IACRI, and SACRI with funding from Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency. And also another state-of-art equipment which will be for regional testing in Uganda and Mozambique. And then to summarize, of course, also efforts have been done on grant financing for energy efficiency projects, especially promoting energy efficiency business models like energy performance contracting, energy as a service, among others. And other initiatives that have been happening are awareness workshops, webinars happening in the countries, but also across the region. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dennis. Just linking to what Dennis has just spoken, Mr. Cannon, and I know I've preempted you a bit and probably broken protocol by having the technical experts start before you, but it was deliberate because you also sit at the more strategic level in terms of looking at what opportunities for public-private partnerships the increasing role required of the private sector, and how you would see all that playing out to achieve the lofty goals that we have in front of us. Karibu nani kaka Cannon.
Thank you, moderator, and thank you, the Minister of Energy, United Republic of Tanzania, for really organizing this event and inviting us, facilitating us to come. As you have heard, I'm looking at what public-private partnership do or does, or the role they play in achieving energy efficiency goals. So can you hear me? We should know that originally, traditionally, the disbursement of public services or service was primarily the role of the government. And with time, it was observed that without the private sector being involved, then governments would be having good ideas, but which would at times fall short due to various reasons. That's the reason why we want to look at this briefly and see what it does. So public-private sector works with government to achieve energy efficiency in various ways. First of all, government might not be having enough capital. So the private sector comes in. And once the private sector comes in, then it means that it is sharing now risk with the government. And once it is sharing risk, it is becoming a part of the entity that is actually implementing the energy efficiency. So it combines its expertise with that one of government and then promotes innovation, which in the long run would allow large-scale government projects to be completed with the private sector funding. So having said that, we see that the private sector, private-public partnerships are very vital, especially in achieving energy efficiency goals by combining resources, expertise, and sharing risk. They also advance technology and innovation by introducing cutting-edge solutions and fostering research and development, hence driving the adoption of best practices in energy efficiency. For example, if the government is preaching energy use and reduction, maybe by a certain percentage, it might be easier for the private sector to toe that line and the public, the members of the public, to actually conceive it much more than if it were government. Secondly, the private sector normally, as some of us can be, or are members of the private sector, the private sector does not want to incur a single loss at any one moment. So it makes sure that it stores the policy it has put in place with the government to make sure that it is implemented and it is successful. So at the end of the day, when you are implementing the energy efficiency, it ensures that timely and cost-effective projects are delivered and at a minimum or cost-effective way without waste. And the partnership also promotes public awareness, because now if the government is doing this, as my brother Dennis has alluded to, then the private sector also encourages awareness. And also it provides or it expounds on the market. And then in most cases, the private sector are good marketing agents of what is supposed to be done. For example, if you are buying energy efficient bulbs and you are the government, distributing those bulbs would be much easier and is much easier, like it was done in Uganda, going through the private entities. And also it stimulates competition and fosters innovation. And maybe lastly but not least, it also strengthens policy, regulation, and framework by providing market insights for realistic policies supporting the development. The private sector would have or has done a lot and failed there, and done a lot and succeeded there. So when the government joins hands with the private sector has that kind of niche that the government might not at that level know. For example, if you are going, as I said, to distribute bulbs, how do you do it? If you are going to sell electricity, or to what peak, when should you use, at what time should the peak be? Is it during the night? Is it during the day? That kind of stuff. So in summary, the public-private partnership drive sustainably or sustains energy efficiency initiative by ensuring financial viability, advancing technology, and aligning efforts of the efforts in energy efficiency with the global goals like SDGs. You know, if you check, like I think it is SDG 8, they wanted to reduce energy level by 1% in by 2030, as compared to by 2030 as compared to 1990 and 2010 period. That is SDG target 7.3. So the private sector, when it partners with the government, they enable those goals to be achieved. For example, the Paris Agreement and the East African Union Agenda 2023. Because of time, I couldn't explore more than that. Maybe in the question and answer we shall explore more. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Muhumuza. Just before we get to Mr. Belete, I wanted Engineer Luoga just to share, because we've talked about collaboration between states, and also talking about collaboration and partnership with the private sector. And I know between Uganda and Tanzania, there has been work being done, particularly if we look at the transport side. If you could just share what that has looked like, and briefly, and where other opportunities you might see, not just between the two states, but maybe within region and within SADC as well. Karibu.
Thank you very much. Yes, in fact, as the country now, we are collaborating with our neighboring countries in the energy sector development. We have a number of projects which we are doing together with the neighboring countries. In case of we have just commissioned the Mulongo Kagati project. This is between Tanzania and Uganda. So we have the project, we are sharing as the Eastern African countries. We are also exchanging experience in the generation, transmission, and distribution. But well, this is for Uganda, but also for Kenya. Likewise, we are going to launch Kenya-Tanzania Power Interconnector Project, the transmission line. This project is going to connect the two power pools, East African Power Pool and Southern African Power Pool, while the Tanzania is at the center. So we are going to solve the problem of power crisis in this regional SADC and EAC through Tanzania. This is a very big project. At the same time, we have another project with Kenya, which is on pipeline, the natural gas pipeline project. Probably in February, we are going to commission to launch the Rusumo hydropower project. This is the three-country project, Burundi, Rwanda, and Tanzania. We have already connected. So you can see that for Tanzania, we are at the middle, but we are collaborating very well with the neighboring country, and probably in 3 years to come, we will join all SADC and East African community through this energy project. So this is one. But on the renewable energy project and also the clean cooking, we have the EACRI. We are also members with the EACRI, Eastern African Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency Center. But also on the SADC, Tanzania also, we are the member for SACRI, for 30 countries, and this for the renewable energy. As I said, our priority now is to have to generate power through renewable energy project. You have said it in the beginning on our generation mainly depends on the hydro and gas, but now we want also to generate power by using solar, wind, and geothermal, and this is our priority. So this is also an opportunity for private sector. You know very well, as the government, we cannot do it all, so we are inviting private sector to support us in this priority for renewable energy project, especially on the off-grid and the on-grid, small and large scale.
Thank you so much, Engineer. And not to forget that we also think about getting our renewable-fired buses out of Uganda as well for our DART transport. Mr. Belete, you sit at a unique place where you get to see or get experience from various countries. And obviously there's been a lot of conversations around the challenges around the transition. What are you seeing as success stories that we can all learn from, and opportunities where those challenges do exist? Karibu.
Thank you so much, Ida. Let me also, like others, thank the government for organizing this very important event, and other governments that are participating, in regional bodies. A very sincere thanks also to the partners that have supported this, the EU, UNDP, and Ireland. So I think on that question, I think many of the panelists here have somewhat touched on that issue exactly. I mean, I think that I don't think there's any government that I have engaged in that's not interested in moving forward on this transition. I think the Deputy Prime Minister was quite eloquent in articulating the rationale and justification for this transition. It's cheaper, it's cleaner, it's more reliable. So for all these reasons, I think the justifications are present. Having said that, I think there's lots of challenges in getting to that destination, right? I mean, there's the challenge of providing the right incentives. I think we need to be honest with realizing that there's costs associated with making this transition. Some of these costs, these upfront costs can be quite high, so there's got to be mechanisms put in place to support that at the public sector level, but also at the private sector level. There's also awareness raising that's required in order to get the different stakeholders on board. I think there's also the enabling environment, the legal and regulatory environment that needs work on. So a lot of these things are in process. I think there's a genuine effort, at least in the countries that I have the opportunity to work in, a willingness on the part of the authorities to work on this, and I think that there's a lot of engagement from the development partners on this. So I think it's going to require collective action. I think it's unreasonable to expect that all of this will be on the burden of the government, on the public sector. I think there's a realization that all of us collectively, even at the individual household level, have a responsibility on this. So hopefully, collectively, we can move the agenda forward and achieve what all of our governments are putting into their compacts now that will hopefully be signed in January. Thank you.
And thank you to all. I think just in summary to share what I've picked up is that we cannot go forward without collaboration. That is so important. Innovation, I think that's a theme that has come through, and not just innovating in terms of the appliances or the equipment we're going to use, but even just our thought process. Skills, that has come through, I think, on many occasions. We need to build at skills level, whether we're looking at manufacturing, designing, looking at different ways. I think we talk about skills not just in the energy sector, but right across. So I'm excited about that because I think with the resources we have, the human resources, it takes us so much forward. Public awareness, that has also come through right from the morning to now, that if we don't talk or share every moment with the public, what opportunities, listen to them, what are the challenges, whether it's at household or industrial level, we're still not going to go forward. I mean, collaboration is not just the governments and the private sector, it's everyone has to be involved. I mean, I think last but not least is not to fear the challenges. The big ones that come through will always be financing. I think we never have enough money. So Belete, I hope you're listening. But also in terms of standards, I think that has come through in terms of making sure we harmonize the standards, making sure we, also the regulatory authorities are able to enforce those standards, because I know what really kills all of us in the sector is when substandard goods come in. So I'm really looking forward to more and more engagement on this for the next few days, but over time. I think we've entered an exciting period as a region. And like we leapfrogged with the telecoms, I think this is it for us on the continent. So I'd like to thank you all, gentlemen, also for being patient with the technological challenges and the changes, and to the audience as well. Thank you so, so much. And before Neema takes my head off, asanteni sana, and thank you, Neema.
Let's put our hands together for the panelists. Once again, Ms. Saida, thank you very much. Member of our panelists, we have really appreciated what you have done. Thank you very much, Mr. Nathan Belete from World Bank. I appreciate Mr. Canon Mohuza from IACRI, also Engineer Innocent Logo from Ministry of Energy, without forgetting Mr. Usama Kaga from Uganda, and Mr. Redley Mkaliki from SACRI. Thank you very much. This is the end of our session for today. Thank you very much once again. We can have our seat. Let's have once again a few minutes. I'll give you some few minutes later on discussion. Okay, fine. We can have a group photo, please. Thank you very much. It's really appreciated. You have done a wonderful job. Can we have a group photo, please? Thank you. Makofi tena. Tunaomba mpige picha tafadhali. Tunaomba mpige picha kwa ajili ya wenzetu. Asante sana. Tutakapokuwa tukimaliza kila session, basi tunapata group photo. Hiyo itakuwa inapendeza sana. Baada ya group photo hii, basi tutakwenda for lunch. We are gonna break for lunch. Lunch, it's gonna be served at 16th floor and 2nd floor, wing A and B. Let me announce some of the members who will be taking lunch in 16th floor, and the rest will be taking the lunch at 2nd floor. Head of delegates from representative countries like Uganda and other SADC members, they're gonna have a lunch around 16th floor. Member from the ministry, we're gonna have a lunch on 16th floor. And the rest of the panelists, we're gonna have our lunch at 2nd floor. We're gonna have 2 wings, the right wing and left wing. So please bear in mind and make sure that you observe your place. Mabibi na mabwana, karibuni sana kwa chakula. Lunch yetu itakuwa kwa 1 hour na itakuwa kama ifuatavyo. Wale wawakilishi wa makampuni ya kimataifa pamoja na wenzetu kutoka wizarani na mawaziri na makatibu wakuu. Wao watakwenda kupata lunch ghorofa ya 16M ambao ni almost ghorofa ya 17, na wale wengine ambao ni members wa kikao hiki tutakwenda kupata lunch ghorofa ya pili. Tunazo wing mbili, wing ya kushoto ambao ni wing A na wing B. Kwa hiyo karibuni sana kwa lunch. We're gonna spend only 1 hour, then we're gonna come back here around exactly 1 hour from now. Kwa hiyo karibuni sana kwa lunch, and then tukirudi for lunch tunakwenda kwa discussion nyingine na presentation kutoka kwa group namba 2 ambayo itaongozwa na Dr. Wilson Lugano. Moderator atakuwa ni Engineer Ngobile Nkobo, and the rest of the panelists will be Engineer Spirados Kakaba, Dr. Wilson Lugano, Engineer Joseph Njuguna, and the rest of the crew, Engineer Imani Mruma, without forgetting Engineer Dennis Ariho. Please observe time. Thank you very much. Bon appetit.